could name the #1 reason why someone's hair is not retaining length, I would have to say Hey you guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an extremely requested video. It's just an extremely requested video. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys possible reasons why your hair could be stuck at a certain length, or why it's breaking off, or why it's just not growing. I do have a previous video that I recorded on ways that I grew out my hair, so this may kind of correlate a little bit. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below, or I'll link it above, or you know, whatever us cool YouTubers do. And I'm just gonna go over some things that I think could help you guys in some way, shape, or form. Now, I will say that there's a whole bunch of videos on this topic already. Anyways, so that's what majority of the questions in my inbox are, like, how did you get your hair to grow? Jess, my hair is not growing, please help me. And since I can't respond to everyone, here's the video, y'all. Here's the video. So first, you know, my hair is not like waist length or tailbone length or anything like that. But I did this the other day, but I'm gonna just go ahead and stunt on y'all one more time, just in case anyone wants to say I ain't got no credentials. Ooh, sorry. Here I'm at, you know, here is I'm, here I'm is, here we at. Here we are. Okay, and then I'll tell you where I used to be. This is where I'm coming from, you know. Okay, so I wrote down some stuff. Now, reasons why your hair may not be growing. First of all, everyone's hair grows for the most part. We'll get into that later, but for the most part, I want to say if you don't have a medical condition or whatever, everybody's hair is growing. Your problem is not growing your hair. Your problem is retaining length. So we're going to talk about that. #1, come on you guys, keep up. Are you deep conditioning? Should I even have to ask? If you're not deep conditioning, don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me. Are you deep conditioning? Okay, you should be deep conditioning at least once a week. I personally love to deep condition with my hot head cap. You just warm it up. I feel like I've said this a million times, but I'm gonna say it again because y'all just keep asking me, so I'm gonna keep telling you. They say you gotta repeat something 3 times for it to get into somebody's head, so I'm gonna just keep telling y'all. I'm gonna try to link everything in the description box if I can find it. This is my favorite deep conditioner at the moment. It is the CREME Argan Oil Intense Hydrating Mask, and I'm just gonna say at the moment, but I've been using this for about a year, maybe more. So this deep conditioner, and I also add in my grapeseed oil. I've been saying this from the jump. These products have been here with me from the beginning, from when my hair was ear length. Okay, so it's doing something. All right, next on the menu, are you washing your hair too often? We all know that shampoo strips your hair of its natural oils. I know some people don't shampoo their hair at all, and I'm not telling you that you need to do that. I, for one, I do shampoo my hair either once a week or once every 2 weeks. But you don't need to be shampooing your hair more than once a week. If you can stretch it to once every 2 weeks, that's good. Actually, I feel like lately I've been shampooing my hair every 2 weeks and then co-washing in between. So if you're shampooing your hair too often, you're stripping it of its natural oils. Now, obviously you can put the oils and moisture back into your hair, but why strip something of your hair that you need if you don't gotta do it? Just don't do it. Don't overdo the process. Being natural, it's kind of hard, but it's not as hard. Like, less is more, in my opinion. Like, you don't have to overdo it. So you can cut back on the shampoo. You don't need to shampoo more than once a week. If you can do it less, then do it less. Even if it's a moisturizing shampoo, those most of the time have silicones in it. So make sure you read your ingredients on your products, people. Don't just pick up everything off the shelf because it's cheap. Sometimes you gotta spend a few extra coins to get the results that you're looking for. Back to you, Rob. Next. Now this is annoying, and I know, I feel like this video is literally the same exact video as my last video, but anyways, are you trimming your ends? Are you trimming your ends? Are you trimming your ends? Nobody likes to trim their hair, and I know I went on a big tangent about me trimming my hair so many times last year because of working with whoever. Trimming your hair can either be a positive or it can be a negative. If you trim your hair too often and take off too much at a time, you're not going to see length retention. If you don't trim your hair at all, you're not going to see length retention. The thing is, if you don't trim your hair, you're going to get split ends. You're going to get single strand knots. But with split ends, once they start splitting, they're just going to keep splitting up and up until it snaps. And that's why your hair starts to break off down here. It'll grow up here, but then the bottoms will break off. So the amount that is growing, the same amount is breaking off, and you get stuck at the same length. So I would suggest don't go more than 6 months without trimming your hair. Some people like to trim every 4 months. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Every 6 months should be good. And I want to say an inch or an inch and a half every 6 months. If you trim off 2 inches of your hair every 6 months, that's 4 inches of your hair gone. We only get about 6 inches of growth a year. Are you telling me you only want to see 2 inches of your hair a year? Alright, up next. Oh my gosh. Do I even have to say this? I may have to. Are you moisturizing and sealing? Are you? Okay. For those of you who don't know what moisturizing and sealing is, it's when you choose a moisturizer. I feel like a moisturizer can be anything. Like you can moisturize with a twisting cream, a curling cream, anything. Lately, I've really just been moisturizing with whatever I got. I'm going to tell you my favorite moisturizer and my favorite sealant as of right now. My favorite moisturizer is the Hydrating Curl Cream by Cream of Nature. This is that stuff. Like, ain't nothing in here. I done used up, like, I got a little bit left, but that is my favorite moisturizer. And my favorite sealant as of right now has been the Shea Yogurt. It's called a hair moisturizer, but I don't use this as a moisturizer because as soon as you rub it into your hands, it turns into an oil. So I use this to seal in my hair. It smells amazing. It has all natural ingredients. I don't know if it's all natural actually, but it contains a bunch of natural ingredients, so I'm all for this Ali K Natural Shea Yogurt hair moisturizer. Your hair, it just needs to retain moisture. If your hair is not retaining moisture, it's going to become dry, brittle, and it's going to break off. Said this before, I'll say it again. Your hair needs to retain moisture. Your hair needs moisture. If you're not moisturizing it, it's going to become dry, brittle, and break off. Your hair is a plant. It needs food in order to stay alive. It needs water. Get you a spray bottle and just like spray your hair every single morning if you can. Put some type of moisture in your hair. Maybe not if you have a twist out, because that might, you know, mess up some stuff. But if your hair is in a style that can handle moisture, spray your hair with water every morning. You don't have to literally moisturize and seal every day, but your hair needs some type of moisture. At least every other day. If you can do every day, then please do that. But at least every other day. At least twice a week. But don't go any longer than that. You gotta moisturize and seal. You moisturize first with your moisturizer and you seal with your oil of choice. Some people like to seal and moisturize. For people who do the LOC method, you do an oil and then a cream. I mean, I ain't judging you. If it works for you, then it works for you. But I don't know, I just never understood the LOC method as opposed to the LCO method. But hey, if it works for you, it works for you. That actually brings me to my next point. Do you know your hair? Are you using products that are fit for your hair? Or are you using products that are fit for your favorite YouTuber's hair? Come on, somebody. Like, if your hair is, I'll just use the two opposite sides of the spectrum. Say if your hair is 4C and you're watching YouTubers like Jayla Majette or Jasmine, who both have 3B, 3C, maybe 3A, and you're following their hair care regimen, I just don't really think that's the best idea. You could probably follow their regimen, but you're gonna have to use different products than what they use because not all products work for the same hair type. You just gotta find what works for you. For me, I need creams. I need thicker creams. Like for my leave-in conditioner, Cream of Nature, they sent me a spray leave-in conditioner, which is this like detangling leave-in blah blah blah. And then they sent me a cream leave-in conditioner. This works way better for my hair than the spray one. It's just my hair, it needs creamy, thick products for it to flourish. This little watery, spray tan, leave-in conditioner stuff, it don't work for me. But it probably would work amazing for somebody who had like 3B hair or whatever like that. Someone who has maybe a higher porosity or something. Someone's hair that's different than mine. So if I'm watching someone who's using a spray leave-in conditioner or a spray whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna use their products, and I see that my hair is not flourishing like theirs is, make sure you are using products that work for your hair. Obviously, trial and error. There's nothing wrong with watching people who have different hair types than you for inspiration. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't always follow exactly what they're doing because it's just not gonna work for you. Alright, this one here. You are not seeing growth because you're not doing your scalp massages. Are you doing your scalp massages? How many times I gotta tell y'all? Get you one of the, I just be like all the time. Like, these scalp massages have changed my life. Like, if you do not have a Vanity Planet scalp massager, y'all already know, I'm gonna hook y'all up because I have a coupon code for you. Like I said, not sponsored, but these have just like, can you just take my word? Just take my word for it. I'll leave a link down below where you can get one of these scalp massagers from Vanity Planet. I do this twice a week. I'm not even joking. I do it twice a week when I oil my scalp. You can use whatever scalp oil you want to. Before, I was using the Main Choice Growth Oil, which is what is in this bottle here. But I recently changed my scalp oil back to Jamaican black castor oil, and I just put it in this bottle because it has an easy applicator top. But for my hair growth oil, I like to shock my scalp every now and then. So I switched back to Jamaican black castor oil, not for any specific reason. I don't think it works any better, or I don't think the Main Choice works any less than the other, but I like to switch it up. So that's what I use. Jamaican black castor oil on my scalp. I do not think you should use it on your hair. I think it's way too heavy to use on your hair, but I will use it on my scalp. So get your scalp massages in. You gotta get that blood flowing in your scalp so that it can promote the hair growth. Your scalp is just as important as your ends. Treat them both with the same amount of love. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, we gotta talk about these hairstyles that y'all be doing. We gotta talk about these hairstyles that y'all be doing. First of all, I don't even think we need to mention straightening your hair or putting heat on your hair. Do we need to still mention that in 2019? We still have to mention heat in 2019. Do we? I'll do it just in case. If you straighten your hair all the time, then this goes for people who are transitioning as well, because this is something I did when I first tried to transition. I was straightening my roots so that they would match my relaxed ends, and I was giving myself heat damage before I even started my journey. So be careful with the straightening. So if you're straightening your hair, first of all, you better get you a heat protectant. If you're just putting heat on your hair with no heat protectant, that's why you bald headed, and that's why you ain't got no growth. That's why you ear length still, sis. Like, what is you doing? Are you flat ironing your hair on 500 degrees? You gotta ask yourself these questions. Like, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. They're important. I am all for protective styling. I am all for braids, for wigs, for twists. Anything where your ends are being, you know, sealed in and protected. But also you gotta be careful. Are you causing too much tension on your roots, on your scalp? Because that could rip your hair out and that could cause your hair to be really thin. I just feel like it's 2019. All these things I'm asking you, like, I shouldn't even have to ask. How do you go to sleep, sis? I know you're not falling asleep on that cotton pillowcase. You're not. I know you're not. But if you are, let me tell you, all that, say you moisturize and seals your hair and you're ready to go to sleep and you fall asleep on that cotton pillowcase, everything you just did, you just got soaked right up out of your hair and now it's on the pillow. That's it. Cotton pillowcases, first of all, they rub on your ends, they cause breakage, and they just soak up all the moisture out of your hair. The same thing with towels. If you're washing your hair and you're using a towel, what are you doing? Do we need to talk personally? Do I need to give you my phone number so you can call me and we can just talk? You need counseling? Is everything okay at home? Because there's no way that you could be living your best life and be loving on yourself and sleeping on a cotton pillowcase. Last thing I'm thinking about that I can really think of right now is genetics. Now that you cannot really help. If you have a history of some type of like alopecia, or just you've seen in your family that their hair does not grow. I don't really know what to tell you on that part. You may have to go see a doctor or like a hair care specialist to see how you can combat that or how you can break that generational curse or whatever. Honestly, like, I'm not even joking. I just don't know. But genetics could be a reason why your hair is not growing. I don't think that's a reason why you don't retain length, but I feel like that's the reason why your hair is not growing from your scalp. So kind of look at your family lineage, your family line, like your mom's hair, your grandma's hair. Now this, I don't want people to use that as a crutch and be like, oh, it's gotta be genetics, that's why my hair is not growing. Because majority of us women with natural hair, our hair is just not growing because we're not taking care of it properly, because we don't know our hair. So don't just be like, oh, that's what it is, because I've been doing everything I'm supposed to be doing and I'm still at, you know, neck length. Like, no. Rewind, go back to whatever video you need to watch to help you create a hair care regimen. Sometimes you gotta be a little extra. If you need to do some inversion methods or something, greenhouse method, in order to keep the moisture in your hair, sometimes you have to go above and beyond, because some people's hair is more dry than others. Especially if your hair is color treated. Moisture, just moisture. If I could name the #1 reason why someone's hair is not retaining length, I would have to say it's moisture. Everything else sounds great, like, oh, too much heat, or you're not oiling your scalp, or you're not getting trims. And I mean, that all is just as important, honestly, but I just feel like moisture is the #1 reason why people's hair is breaking off or they can't seem to retain length. I feel like moisture. Another thing with protective styling is if your hair is in braids for 3 months, when did you moisturize your hair? Your hair is so dry now. Like, I know some people wash their hair while it's in braids, but I feel like majority of people don't. They're not oiling their scalp while their hair is in those braids or those twists. And you're definitely not moisturizing and sealing while your hair is in those braids. So protective styling is great, but also make sure you don't leave it in too long. And then when you take it out, give your hair a week or two to like breathe the fresh air in that God has given us, you know. Give yourself some time to do some deep condition treatments and things like that. So if you're someone who constantly is wearing braids, when you take your braids out, you're not seeing like, oh, does my hair look longer? Like, you're not seeing it. Maybe you're overprotective styling. I do think there's such a thing as overprotective styling, but that's just me. You know, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. These are just the things that I know have helped me, and I hope that they help you. Cause I mean, do I have to show you again that before picture? That before picture? And here we at now. And this is just in the course of 2.5 years, okay? So you don't have to take my word for it, but try it out. Get yourself a regimen. Stick to it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I've been moisturizing my hair for 3 days and I don't see the length. Like, give yourself some time. I guarantee you, if you stick to a regimen with products that work for your hair for 6 months, 6 months of healthy hair care, you're gonna see growth. Make sure you take a before picture and an after picture. I'm telling you, in 6 months, your hair is gonna be thicker, it's gonna be full, and it's gonna be longer. I promise, just give yourself 6 months. Can someone promise me in the comments that they're going to dedicate 6 months to healthy hair care, to oiling your scalp, to deep conditioning, to moisturizing and sealing, getting at least one trim? Maybe start off with a trim, start off with a clean slate. Not using so much heat on your hair, sleeping with a satin pillowcase. Like, can you just promise me you'll do that for 6 months? Anyways, you guys, I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.